Alright, what's going on? I'm going to mark up VOO because I just want to mark it up. I like marking up my charts and seeing what's going on, seeing areas that are of significance and areas where I would want to buy, right? So yeah, that's all I'm going to do is mark up my chart for VOO, look for order balance. I said order balance. Look for order blocks, imbalances, and anything you can think of that we can get some precise actions. Okay. All right. That being said, let me go ahead and share my screen with the camera. Here I am. All right. So what I end up doing first, just the thing I always do. I always go to the 12-month time frame and mark the all-time high. So I'm going to mark that now, and I'm going to change that to red. Alright, I'm going to drop down to the month time frame, and I will go ahead and mark up the previous month high and the previous month low. So previous month high is here, and I will do orange. Previous month low is here, orange as well. Then I drop down to the week time frame. I will mark up the previous week high and the previous week low. And then same thing with the daily. I will mark the previous day high and the previous day low. Alright. Then I will go back to my week time frame. And I'm going to use the week time frame to identify areas where I would want to buy. Okay? But before I do that, what I also do is I look for order blocks. So your order blocks are areas where there was an impulsive move that broke structure of the previous leg and caused a new swing high. Or it can be where it broke the structure of a leg and it caused a swing low. But because, as you can see, we're looking at VOO right now, and we can already see that it's bullish. We're looking for structure that caused a new swing high right now. Okay, so I can already see this right here is the leg that caused it. Okay, but that being said, I also want to look for an order block. So order block, that's where institutions, the larger institutions, the ones that manipulate the markets, where they get into the market and they cause the impulsive move. We know we have a lot of buyers and sellers also in these areas right here as well. So these are areas that, again, that larger institutions, they love. Then I'm looking for an order block that is normally a smaller candle, then a bigger candle, the impulsive move candle, okay? And it's always the smaller candle is always the opposite of the candle that caused the impulsive move. That being said, if you look at it right now, I don't see it at all. Because we already know this is the leg that broke the current high right here, okay? And I don't see an order block right here. So I may drop down to the daily time frame as well and see if I see that same area. And I still don't see that area. So what I would normally do next is go back to the month time frame. Well, actually, let me go back. So I will also, on the week time frame, a good thing to do is, if I can't find the area, again, this is that area, I can switch over to the Hakin-Ashi candles. Even though it showed it's not current price action, it still shows like, hey, what the trend was, and it can also eliminate the noise that you would normally see on regular candles and everything. And again, I still don't see the order block here, and that's why, again, I would drop down to the daily time frame as well and see, can I see the order block here as well. And I already know my area and I don't see it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch back over to the regular candles, go back up to the month, and again we can see that the month is bullish. But you know what I see? First off, you can see the trend already. Again, we already know that it's bullish. We're looking at it right here. You can see where this leg right here, the structure was broken, and we made another higher high here. And I can see right now my order block right here. It looks almost like a hammer, but it's not exactly a hammer. And you also see a larger candle here, because this candle is still bigger than it's smaller than the body of it, even though we are going to use the wick right here as well to identify it. So I'm going to mark this area. Mark it from the high to the low of this candle right here. This is the candle that caused the impulsive move to the top that broke structure here and caused the new swing high. I want to make sure I got this on here correctly as well. Some people say it needs to be precise and accurate. I try to get it as accurate as possible sometimes, because it does help out a lot. There we go. And I'm going to label this my origin order block. Sometimes I just put origin OB on here. Alright, so that lets me know, hey, this is the area or the candle that started it all. And then what I would normally do as well is I would take my horizontal line and place it at the swing low as well. And I'm going to change this to pink. And then I'm going to give this a name. And I could normally say this is the monthly. I'm going to call it monthly. Well, I got everything in caps. I'm going to call this my monthly, and I put bullish. That way, when I'm going through the different time frames, I know that we are bullish, and I don't get sucked into the trap of thinking we may be bearish in case there is a pullback and whatnot, okay? So I'm going to hit OK on that one. Now, I'm going to go ahead and draw my fib on the month. And again, normally I would just be on the weekly and draw my fib, but because I didn't see my order block, and the reason I'm doing it that way, because I don't just want to look at areas where I can buy. I want to have the reasoning why I'm choosing these areas and the possibilities or the probabilities that that price could come down even lower than the area that I'm looking to buy, just because of I have a order block here, or I have an imbalance, or I may have a gap there as well. So you never know. Alright, so now I'm going to take my fib and I'm going to draw it from the swing low to the swing high. Swing low to the swing high. Alright. Then I'm going to take my rectangle and I'm going to buy my zones, draw my zones where I would think I can buy. So I'm going to look at the 618 and 50% zone. Excuse me. Let me bring this up. Click. Get back right there. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Alright. Alright, then I'm going to change this color to green because, you know why? Green, money, buy. For me, that means buy. I might change my colors one day. I don't know yet. But anyway, I marked that green and I marked this as my buy zone. I might say buy zone, or I could say demand zone, or it could be demand zone, whatever you want to call it. You just got to remember whatever it is, that you understand what it is when you see it. It's a buy zone. It's a demand zone. It's a discount zone, right? So let me put discount zone as well. I need to go ahead and switch it down to lowercase. Discount zone. Call it what you want. Now I normally don't have all this typed out like this. What kind of, wait, buy zone, demand, oh, how did it get over there? Lord. Demand zone, take that off. It should be a dash. There we go. Hold on. Buy zone, demand zone, discount zone. How did that happen? This thing trying to, you know what? Why does like every time when you record, this way everything want to go crazy. When you not recording, everything be fine. Alright. But anyway, yeah, so that's my buy zone or demand zone or discount zone, whatever you want to call it. Now I also have an area too, just in case. Let me see. You know what? Where is another area where I can get an even deeper discount. And I can also look at my 38.2% zone and my 23% zone that, hey, if I ever miss this area right here, I can always come down. But, for these purposes right now, I'm not going to clog my my chart because I don't like a lot of stuff on my charts, okay? All right. Now, that being said, we have these areas right here. I'm going to drop now down to the weekly and see what do we see on the weekly. First, we do see, even though I drew my fib on the month, that the weekly, it does align as well. Because even the weekly, we would have saw that, hey, we could have started here and up here. However, I do see another area. I see another order block in this area. You see where price, or this leg right here, it broke the structure. And we end up getting a new higher high. And this is the leg that caused that. Okay? So what I can do is I can draw it. But I'm going to show you something when I do that. So let's draw our rectangle. And I'm not going to draw it on the field because, oh my gosh, it'll get so confusing. So, I can draw here to here. Make sure I get this down here a little bit better. Move it over. And again, let me change this color because I have different colors for everything. Again, this is another order block. This is a weekly order block. Weekly order block. Okay. Again, we see what institutions got in and they pushed price up more. It's also an area where we could have had a lot of sellers in here, buyers and sellers in here in these areas right here as well. And again, you see the impulsive move, the opposite candle right here. Okay. Now, here's what's funny about this, because we're going to end up deleting this. Let me tell you why we're going to delete this. You know, it's a valid order block. We can see already where price came down. It already broke the month low. It went down and broke through the week high. It came down and broke through the day high as well. So, our order block has already been mitigated. It's already been filled. So, there's nothing else to do here. So, again, so that I don't get my charts all cluttered, I will go ahead and delete this order block. Because at this point, it is no longer valid. Okay? Well, technically, it still can be valid. Because, yeah, even though price, it broke through it already, we can see, hey, is it going to react off of this area right here as well? So right now, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to keep it. Because now I don't know if price is going to continue to come down. Or is it going to possibly form a bullish pattern and keep going up? So we don't know. So this right now, I will say that this order block is still relevant. Now, with that being said, guess what? I see two things down here. I spotted another order block here. And I spotted a gap here. So, what I want to do first, I'm going to go ahead and fill this gap right here. Since it's right here in my face, let's fill this gap. I'm going to take my rectangle tool, drop from the bottom to the top of this one, and I'm going to change that color to this beautiful deep pink, magenta, rose. I don't know what color it is, but it's so pretty. And it's pretty. Okay, that's all that. Alright, let me go back over just a little bit, move this over, because I want to make sure I got it here. And it does leave room for me to bring it down, baby. Oh, I ain't gotta go down that far. Alright. Do the same thing right here. Want to make sure we got it. Alright, then I'm going to bring it back over some, because I'll make sure it aligns. Let me bring it down. And then I'm going to label this as, we're on the week. So this is the weekly imbalance here as well. So weekly imbalance. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. So yeah, we have our weekly imbalance there. What happened just now? Let me pull this back over. It threw me off. There we go. All right. Then I told you I see the another order block right here. Now this is a continuation order block here. Normally, when you look for the order blocks, you also look for a order block that will also cause a breaking structure. Now, this order block right here didn't necessarily cause a breaking structure. However, look, the order block is also within our buy zone, our demand zone, our discount zone, whatever you want to call it, is in there. So now I'm going to take my rectangle again, draw another one, change the color. My order blocks are always this color. I would say this color. I don't know if it's a tan, a brown, whatever color you want to call it. And again, it's my weekly. That way I know where I got this from. So it's my weekly order block. Bam. Alright. And that's even better confluence right there. Because now I have an order block inside of our demand zone. And then I have a weekly imbalance right below the order block. I know it's about like a $20 difference if I'm just looking at the value of it right now. Right, between the weekly imbalance and the order block. So, all that being said, that means there's a possibility that we can get, that price could come down into our zones, fill these areas. Because for the most part, you always want the order blocks to be filled. It's what the institutions want. That's why they do what they do. Okay. That being said, and I will note also that we're also in a pullback. We're in pullback zone right now. Because remember, when you look at the month, obviously we are bullish for the month. Correct? Yes, correct. All right. Then the week, you're also seeing some bearish momentum going right here. All right, so we don't know how deep it's going to go. I'm going to drop down to the daily time frame now, and we're at even a deeper pullback right now. Now, one thing I would definitely say with VU, because it is part of the S&P 500, so you get, for the most part, the strongest companies, 500 strongest companies. Any weaklings, they be like, you got to go. Pew! I don't know why I did that. So any of the weaklings, they have to go. The weaker companies have to go. And then I would say VU is about 90% bullish the majority of the time. And you will only really see VU pull back when there's like something happening big time, like maybe the market is correcting, maybe there's like, we got the geopolitical, all this crap going on, that may be going on. It pulled back, as we all know. Everything pulled back when COVID happened. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, you kind of like, what are the odds of VU pulling back into our zones right here? Because that's what we want. All right, so you want, because you want to be able to get a deeper discount, but it may not do it. So again, for the daily time frame, I really do the same thing that I did on the weekly and the monthly. I still look for gaps as well, and I also look for imbalances that's, for the most part, that's closer to price. And we may see some, and we may not see any. So I'm going to move this over. Let me see if I see any over here. And right now, I don't see any gaps or anything. Or I don't see an area right now that cause price to go higher. Basically meaning any more impulsive moves. Now, what I can do, I can go over to my Heikin Ashi candles and see, do I see anything else? And notice how, like, with the Heikin Ashi candles, the structure, it is so minimal. It's like clean. So those can help you identify areas. And even if I was to use these areas right here, I don't see area where there was a small candle and an impulsive move that made the next higher high. I don't see that. So I'm going to drop it back over to the regular candlesticks. And I'm going to look again just to double check. I'm just looking for areas. And I don't see it right here. So let me come back. And again, we're on a deep pullback right now. So at this point, this is what I would do. I'm just looking to see what is price going to do. Because right now, you see price, it came down and actually broke our week low, our previous week low. And it came and touched our previous day week low as well. Then it went back up. So right now, again, we're on a bearish trend right now. We're on a pullback, right? We're overall bullish, remember? But we're on a pullback right now, even on the daily. So there's a possibility that price could come back down and come back into our areas right here, which I would love for price to come down into the areas right here. But there's a possibility that VU may not do that because VU, for the most part, tends to be 90% bullish. And it may not want to revisit these areas right here. Okay? So that's a good thing about it. That's what I like about it. And I'm just looking again. Yeah. And I'm going to keep these right here. And I'm going to see if it comes down. Now, what I will do as well. This time I'm going to put the camera directly on me. Hello. Alright. So what I could do as well. Because again, there's a possibility that VU will not come down into my area. But I can look at using dollar cost averaging, right? So as I know right now, since VU is on a deep pullback right now, this is a time where I can look at getting into the market and buying some shares, all right? Because again, I can be sitting here waiting forever for VU to come down. It may take some years. I don't know, right? So in the meantime, I can dollar cost average because again, this is an ETF that's meant to get you substantial gains, especially with inflation, all this stuff like that, and it just don't want to come back down. Unless again, it's doing a correction, and something major is happening with it. So I can just dollar cost average, and I'm going to go back to my chart for 1 second. So if I was to again dollar cost average. Because right now, VU is at what, 594 right now. I can look at areas, and this would be an area right now. The 786 zone right here, that would be an area right there where I can look at and saying, you know what, let me dollar cost average into this, basically putting a certain amount of money here. If it keep dropping, I'm gonna keep putting the exact same amount. So I might put $20 here. It keeps dropping. I still may keep dollar cost averaging. A week from now, it could be down here. I'm still use the same amount, maybe $20, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is, I will keep doing that. So again, back on me. Again, that is how I mark my charts, and that's how I look for areas that I may want to buy in. It's not just about identifying areas where I can get a discount or a premium, but I'm doing whether the market's bullish or bearish, wherever the case may be. I also want to look at areas where, hey, it's a high possibility that price would definitely come down to this, to my zones. And I don't want to necessarily use the word definitely, but when you have a area where you're looking to buy, you have your order blocks, and then you have your imbalances. Price loves to come back to those areas right there. And again, it's a possibility that it may come there. And guess what? As I'm sitting here talking, I looked down at my chart where I got it on me. I looked at my chart just now, and I did find an area on the daily. I do see a gap. I'm going to show it to you right quick. Hold on. Right here. Just saw it. Did I miss you again? Right here. See this gap right here? So there are still gaps in the market. Again, put that color here. And notice that the origin order block, it started at the, bring this down, son. There we go. Notice the origin order block. It's all the way down here. And look at the price area, that it's there. And it's on the monthly. So price may not, I said that price would magnate back towards your order blocks. There's a strong possibility that it may not even want to come all the way down to the monthly. But guess what? We got our weekly. So you can come down to the weekly and get those areas right there and take back off. All right. And that was on the daily just now when I drew this. You're not going to be able to see it because it is a small area. But let me see. Can I get it on here? I just go here. Wait, click back on it. Click, baby. Click for mama. There we go. And I just put daily right here. I just put daily imbalance or gap, whatever you want to call it. Call it what you want. All right. So these are areas, and the thing too. Oh, look at this one right here. I see another area on the daily. If I take these glasses, I'll put my contacts back in. I can see. There's a gap in this area right here as well. Look at that. Where could I find these at first? Now all of a sudden I'm finding them now. Put it back over here. We need these gaps. We need these. Because it gives better confluence if they line up. Let me put a label on this one right quick too. That's another daily imbalance. It's not guaranteed that these imbalances will get filled either. But it's almost certain that it can be. But at the same time, we know that almost doesn't count. That sounds good, didn't it? No, not really. Okay. All right, let me go back over to make sure where price is at. And look at all these areas right here. You got your demand zone right here, which is priority. Then you have your order block right here. It's also inside of the demand zone. Then you have your daily imbalance. Well, I put daily imbalances. I don't know. But you also have your daily imbalance inside of the buy zone as well, or your demand zone, or your discount zone, again, whatever you want to call it. So those right there, that's heavy confluence right there. That price could come down and cover these areas here. But again, like we said, it's not guaranteed. Price might want to do what it wants to do. All right. So again, back to me. That was fun. I like doing that. I'm going to find another one to mark up as well. Not for this video though. But anyway, all that being said, if you like what you heard, you like what you saw, give the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel as well, because I will have more. And yeah, that's it. I thank you for watching, and I am out. All right, bye.